Do you ever wake up feeling a bit fuzzy? As if your brain just hasn't quite caught up with the day. Perhaps you find yourself searching for words more often. Or maybe those little memory slips are becoming a little too common. It's a frustrating feeling. Isn't it that nagging sense that your sharp mind isn't quite as sharp as it used to be? For many of us over 60, these experiences can be disheartening. We might blame it on age, on just getting older, and feel like there's nothing we can do to stop this slow decline. But what if I told you that a significant part of this mental fogginess and even some memory challenges aren't an inevitable part of aging, but rather a direct consequence of some seemingly harmless habits we engage in every single night? It's a painful reality to consider that the very routines we think are helping us relax or wind down could actually be quietly eroding our cognitive health while we sleep. We spend so much time focusing on what we should be doing during the day, staying active, eating well, but often overlook the profound impact of our nighttime rituals. The secret to protecting your brain, to keeping it vibrant and responsive, isn't about complicated supplements or drastic lifestyle overhauls. Instead, it's about identifying and gently letting go of specific nightly actions that are, without you even realizing it, actively damaging your brain's ability to repair, consolidate memories, and prepare itself for a new day. In this video, we're going to uncover these surprising culprits, explain why they're so detrimental to your brain health, and most importantly, give you simple, actionable ways to stop them. Get ready to reclaim your clarity, your focus, and your memory. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right into the first one, something almost all of us are guilty of. And it's become so commonplace that we often don't even think of it as a habit anymore, spending your final waking hours glued to screens, your phone, your tablet, or even the television. Imagine this: you're settled in bed, scrolling through social media, catching up on the news, or watching just one more episode of your favorite show. It feels relaxing, doesn't it? A perfect way to unwind. But what's actually happening to your brain in those moments is far from restful. These devices emit what's called blue light, a specific wavelength of light that our brains interpret as daylight. And when your brain thinks it's still daytime, it does something crucial. It suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone absolutely essential for initiating and maintaining healthy sleep. It's like telling your internal clock, stay awake, the sun's still up. Even when it's well past midnight. Beyond the blue light, the content itself is highly stimulating. News headlines can spark worry. Social media interactions can trigger emotional responses. And even lighthearted shows keep your brain actively engaged, processing information, solving plot lines, or anticipating what comes next. This constant mental activity prevents your brain from shifting into a calm, relaxed state necessary for sleep. Think of it like trying to slow down a fast-moving train. It needs a gradual reduction in speed, not an abrupt halt. When your brain is still buzzing from a screen session, it struggles to transition smoothly into the deeper, restorative stages of sleep. And here's where the real damage to your brain begins. Sleep isn't just about resting your body. It's a critical time for your brain to perform essential maintenance tasks. During deep sleep, your brain literally cleans itself. There's a fascinating system called the glymphatic system, which acts like your brain's waste disposal unit. It flushes out metabolic byproducts that accumulate during the day, including amyloid beta proteins, which are strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. When your sleep is consistently disrupted, either by difficulty falling asleep or by fragmented, poor quality sleep, this cleaning process doesn't happen efficiently. Imagine your house not being cleaned for days, then weeks, then months. The clutter and debris would pile up, making it harder to function. The same happens in your brain. Furthermore, sleep is absolutely vital for memory consolidation. Throughout the day, your brain gathers new information and experiences. During sleep, particularly during slow-wave sleep and REM sleep, these memories are processed, organized, and transferred from short-term to long-term storage. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, those precious memories, from where you left your keys to important names and dates, simply don't get properly filed away. This leads to that frustrating feeling of forgetfulness, of things being on the tip of your tongue, but just out of reach. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation, largely fueled by late-night screen use, can contribute to significant cognitive decline, affecting your ability to focus, solve problems, and even regulate your emotions. It might feel like a minor indulgence now, but the cumulative effect on your brain's health can be profound. So, what can you do? The simplest and most effective step is to set a digital curfew. Aim to turn off all screens, your phone, tablet, computer, and even the television, at least 1 hour, ideally 2 hours, before you plan to go to bed. This gives your brain the signal that the day is winding down and allows your body to naturally produce melatonin. Instead of scrolling, try picking up a physical book. There's something incredibly calming about the tactile experience of turning pages. And without the blue light or constant stimulation, your mind can truly begin to relax. You could also try listening to some gentle, calming music, working on a simple jigsaw puzzle, or even engaging in a quiet conversation with a loved one. Make your bedroom a no-screen zone. Charge your phone outside the bedroom, or at least keep it far enough away that you're not tempted to reach for it. Many people find that simply moving the phone out of arm's reach makes a huge difference. Think of it as creating a sacred space for rest and repair, a sanctuary for your brain. One wonderful woman I know started leaving her tablet in the living room after 8 p.m., and within a week, she noticed she was falling asleep faster and waking up feeling genuinely refreshed, without that morning brain fog she'd gotten used to. She even said her dreams became more vivid and she felt more emotionally balanced. It's a small shift, but the payoff for your brain health is enormous. Now, building on the idea of disrupting your body's natural rhythms, let's talk about something else many of us enjoy a little too late in the evening eating heavy. Sugary, or highly processed foods right before bed. It might seem like a cozy way to end the day, perhaps a hearty supper or a sweet treat while watching the evening news. But when you eat a large meal, especially one rich in fats, sugars, or processed ingredients, your digestive system has to kick into high gear. It's like asking your body to run a marathon when it should be preparing for a full night's rest. Digestion requires significant energy, diverting resources that your body would otherwise be using for repair and restoration. This heightened metabolic activity can raise your core body temperature, making it harder to drift off into comfortable sleep. But the impact goes deeper than just restless nights. When you consume sugary or highly processed foods, your blood sugar levels can spike dramatically, followed by a sharp crash. This roller coaster can wake you up during the night, sometimes with a jolt, as your body tries to rebalance. Chronic spikes and drops in blood sugar are detrimental not only to your metabolism, but directly to your brain health. Your brain relies on a steady supply of glucose for fuel, and these erratic fluctuations can impair cognitive function, mood regulation, and even contribute to long-term insulin resistance in the brain, which is increasingly being linked to neurodegenerative diseases. Furthermore, many processed foods contain ingredients that can trigger inflammation in your body, and chronic inflammation is a silent enemy of brain health, contributing to a host of problems, including oxidative stress, which damages brain cells and pathways over time. Imagine trying to think clearly when your brain is constantly under siege from inflammatory responses. It's simply not possible for it to perform at its best. To avoid this, aim to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. This gives your digestive system ample time to process the food and wind down before you lie down. When you do eat in the evening, opt for lighter, easily digestible foods. Think a small piece of lean protein, some steamed vegetables, or a light salad. Avoid anything overly spicy, fatty, or sugary. Instead of that late-night ice cream, try a small handful of almonds or a banana, which contain natural compounds that support sleep. Hydrate earlier in the evening, rather than gulping down a large glass of water right before bed, which can lead to unwelcome nighttime trips to the bathroom that break your sleep cycle. I remember one gentleman who was suffering from chronic heartburn and fragmented sleep. He decided to move his dinner time from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. and opted for simpler meals. Within weeks, not only did his heartburn disappear, but he reported waking up feeling much more rested and less irritable. His mind felt clearer throughout the day, and he realized how much his late eating habits had been quietly sabotaging his well-being. And speaking of what we put into our bodies late at night, there are two common beverages that are particularly insidious when it comes to brain health, if consumed too close to bedtime: alcohol and caffeine. Most of us are well aware that caffeine is a stimulant, and it's something we usually associate with morning wake-ups. However, many people underestimate just how long caffeine stays in their system. Its half-life means it can linger for many hours, continuing to stimulate your brain and prevent the onset of deep, restorative sleep. That seemingly harmless cup of coffee, or even certain teas enjoyed after dinner, can keep your brain from truly resting, leading to fragmented sleep, where you wake up frequently throughout the night without even realizing it. The next day, you're left with brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and a general feeling of sluggishness. Alcohol is even more deceptive. Many people believe a glass of wine or a nightcap helps them relax and fall asleep faster, and it might. Initially, alcohol is a sedative, and it can indeed make you feel drowsy. However, this is where the deception lies. While it helps you fall asleep, it drastically impairs the quality of your sleep. Alcohol fragments the crucial REM, rapid eye movement sleep, the stage where your brain consolidates memories and processes emotions. It also disrupts your deep sleep, which is essential for physical restoration and those vital brain cleaning processes we discussed earlier. As the alcohol is metabolized by your body, it often leads to awakenings in the latter half of the night, sometimes accompanied by dehydration, which further contributes to a restless and unrefreshing sleep. Consistently depriving your brain of quality REM and deep sleep due to alcohol consumption can lead to chronic cognitive impairment, including memory issues, reduced problem-solving abilities, and even mood disturbances. It places an additional burden on your liver and other organs, adding to systemic stress that ultimately affects your brain. To protect your brain, it's wise to set a strict caffeine cutoff time. For most people, this means no caffeine after mid-afternoon, perhaps 2 or 3 p.m., allowing enough time for the stimulant to clear your system. As for alcohol, consider limiting your intake, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime. If you enjoy a drink, have it earlier in the evening with dinner, and keep it to a moderate amount. Replacing your evening coffee with a calming herbal tea, like chamomile, valerian root, or passion flower, can be a wonderful alternative. Similarly, swapping an alcoholic beverage for a glass of sparkling water with a slice of lemon or lime can satisfy that ritual without sabotaging your sleep and brain health. I once spoke with a vibrant woman who was concerned about her increasing forgetfulness. After discussing her routines, we realized she was having a glass of wine most evenings right before bed. When she decided to switch to herbal tea, she was amazed. Not only did her sleep improve dramatically, but within a few weeks, she felt noticeably sharper and more focused during the day. She hadn't realized the subtle, yet powerful, impact that nightly drink was having on her brain. Finally, perhaps the most subtle but powerful thing we do that damages our brain at night isn't about what we consume or look at, but what we allow our minds to do. We're letting your thoughts race with worries, to-do lists, and planning without a proper wind-down routine. Think about it. You spend all day solving problems, making decisions, reacting to stimuli. Your brain is in constant on mode. But when it's time to sleep, your brain needs to shift gears, to transition from doing to being. If you jump straight from a mentally active day into bed, expecting instant sleep, you're essentially asking your brain to slam on the brakes at top speed. This leads to what many of us experience as mind chatter, replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow's appointments, fretting over finances, or even just planning your next day's schedule in vivid detail. This mental activity keeps your brain in an aroused state, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. When these stress hormones are elevated at night, they prevent your brain from entering those deep, restorative sleep stages. Chronic stress, especially at night, has a corrosive effect on your brain over time. It can actually shrink parts of your hippocampus, the area of your brain crucial for memory and learning. It also impairs the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for executive functions like decision-making, planning, and impulse control. Imagine trying to recall names or make clear decisions when your brain is constantly bathed in stress chemicals. It becomes harder to regulate your emotions. 2. Leaving you feeling more anxious or irritable during the day. This nightly mental churning isn't just frustrating. It's actively degrading your cognitive pathways and setting you up for a day filled with mental fatigue and diminished capacity. The good news is that this is perhaps the easiest habit to address, simply by establishing a powerful and intentional wind-down routine. About an hour before bed, consciously shift your focus. Dedicate a specific worry time earlier in the evening, perhaps in the late afternoon. During this time, allow yourself to jot down any concerns or tasks for the next day. Once that time is over, consciously decide to put those thoughts aside until the morning. Journaling can be incredibly effective here. Getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper can be a huge relief. Beyond that, integrate calming activities into your routine. Simple breathing exercises, even just 5 minutes of focusing on your breath, can signal to your nervous system that it's time to relax. Gentle stretching or short, unguided meditation can quiet the mind. Make your bedroom a peaceful sanctuary, not an extension of your office or a space for problem solving. This means no working in bed, no intense conversations, and definitely no checking emails or news one last time. Instead, read a physical book, listen to a calming podcast, or simply sit in quiet reflection. Many people find a gratitude practice before bed, where they reflect on 3 things they're thankful for, shifts their mindset from worry to peace. I know a lovely woman who used to lie awake for hours, her mind racing. She started a simple routine of writing down her worries, then reading a light novel for 20 minutes, followed by 5 minutes of deep breathing. Within a month, she was falling asleep much faster and waking up feeling calmer and more mentally prepared for her day. She told me it was like finally giving her brain permission to rest, and the difference in her overall well-being was profound. So, as we've explored, the journey to a sharper, healthier brain as you get older isn't about dramatic, complex changes, but often about recognizing and adjusting those seemingly innocent nighttime habits that are quietly sabotaging your cognitive health. We've talked about the critical importance of stepping away from screens well before bedtime, allowing your brain to naturally produce melatonin and transition into restorative sleep. We've delved into why late-night heavy, sugary, or processed meals place an undue burden on your digestive system and create inflammatory stress that directly impacts your brain. And we've uncovered how those seemingly relaxing evening drinks, alcohol and caffeine, might trick you into thinking you're getting rest, but actually disrupt the vital sleep cycles your brain needs to repair and consolidate memories. Finally, we've shone a light on the often overlooked habit of allowing your mind to race with worries and planning, preventing your brain from truly winding down and entering that crucial state of restorative calm. Remember, small, consistent changes truly can make a monumental difference to your brain health, your energy levels, your mood, and your overall happiness. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with just one of these habits. Perhaps it's setting that digital curfew tonight, or deciding to have an earlier, lighter dinner. Maybe it's swapping your evening coffee for a soothing herbal tea, or simply taking 5 minutes to jot down your thoughts before bed. Be patient and kind to yourself as you make these shifts. Your brain is an incredible organ, capable of amazing resilience and adaptation. By giving it the rest and peace it deserves at night, you are actively investing in its long-term health, helping it to stay sharp, focused, and vibrant for years to come. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried changing any of these nighttime habits? What differences have you noticed in your sleep, your memory, or your overall mental clarity? Share your experiences and any tips you have in the comments below. Your insights could be incredibly helpful to someone else on this journey if this video has sparked something in you. If it's given you a new perspective on protecting your amazing brain, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this message reach more people who could benefit from this vital information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We are dedicated to bringing you more practical, encouraging advice to help you navigate this wonderful stage of life with vitality and joy. ensuring you have the knowledge and tools to live your best life. Give your brain the gift of restorative rest and watch how it transforms your days. Live your best life at every age.